Shubham, can you introduce yourself?
Sir, I come from Dumka, Jharkhand. My father is a businessman and my mother is a homemaker. I have done my engineering in computer science from BITS Hyderabad. And during the course of my engineering, I have interned in three organizations: Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, Morgan Stanley, and Adobe Systems. For the past few years, I am preparing for civil services.
So you have been an intern all throughout, all right, with Adobe Systems.
Yes, sir.
What was your role here as a research intern in this company?
Sir, I was working on the mobile version of the Photoshop application. The name of the app was Photoshop Express. I was given the task of integrating a feature which we used to call open eye. So in any photo, if a person has his eyes closed, or suppose in a group photo, one person has their eyes closed. So my feature helped them to replace those eyes with different photos where they have their eyes open.
My God, this is very intrusive.
Yes, sir.
This is very intrusive. The eyes are closed and you will open the eyes using the software.
Sir, the user had the choice that the user can choose which eyes to replace, and this can anyway be done using other image editing apps. It just made it easier for the user.
What is remote sensing?
Sir, remote sensing is the study of the characteristic of any object from a remote or a distant location. Most notably, we use it with satellites, like the images of the topography of the Earth and the features of the Earth are studied using remote sensing satellites.
Shubham, are you aware that at some point a survey was being conducted where as if for illegal mining happening in an area? So what the miscreants did was they covered the entire area with green colored cloth, and the satellite was not able to make it out. Right, so with remote sensing can we detect such frauds also?
The technology does have certain challenges, but if we use better satellites which use multiple frequencies, then the difference between a green color cloth and a forest cover can be differentiated. But these technologies do have certain limitations and they have to be collated with the intelligence on the ground.
What is the primary reason behind Naxalism in Jharkhand?
Sir, Naxalism started because there were a set of ideologically motivated individuals, and there was a population which had many grievances, especially the tribal population. Because if we look at it from the point of the tribals, every intervention that the state did was in the form of an interference. The tribals practiced shifting cultivation, but we enacted Forest Conservation Act. They have their own laws with respect to criminal justice, while we wanted them to follow IPC. And if we look at the approach that the Naxals followed, that the ideologues followed, they approached them in their own language. They promised them a separate structure where they will have their own self-rule. So,
No, what is the root cause behind? Can you just brief me in 2-3 lines that what is the root cause behind Naxalism in Jharkhand?
so the biggest cause was the exploitation of tribals. A lot of
By whom? By whom?
by the state and by vested interest.
State? How did the state victimize the tribals?
Some of our policies were not very much in favor of the Naxals. They consider the forest as their home, but state policies with respect to forest conservation did not take into account their sensitivities. Other than that, the state didn't directly sanction a lot of exploitation, but because of the failure of state to implement its policies, there was a lot of misgovernance and lot of corruption on the ground, due to which land alienation happened and the tribals who were displaced from their land were not properly rehabilitated.
Why has bamboo been declassified as a tree recently?
So bamboo has the potential to drive the forest economy, especially in the northeast as well as states like Jharkhand or Chhattisgarh. Bamboo is extensively cultivated. When it was classified as a tree, the cultivators could not freely cut them and sell them. But now that it has been declassified, the bamboo cannot be sold in its original form, but especially for Jharkhand, Jharkhand is very famous for its bamboo-based handicraft. So it can power the economy of a lot of states in India.
So the benefit is that it can be grown
can-
and harvested anywhere, or we can cut even the forest bamboo.
Sir, the bamboo which is cultivated outside of forest area can be cut.
You follow various micro blogging websites,
Yes.
right? How do you identify a fake news? Don't tell me any sophisticated method. Just think of yourself. You've read an article. How do you know whether it is a true news or a fake news?
Sir, what I have found is that there is not a lot of sophistication when it comes to fake news. Most of the news at the outset you can see that it is fake.
Now tell me three qualities.
Three.
Qualities as to of a fake news.
Sir, first, because I am aware about what the government policies are and what the constitutional structure is, fake news is against the very principles that our constitution is against the very principles of our constitution or against the government policies.
What are the specific problems of Jharkhand as a state today?
So the biggest problem for Jharkhand is that it is a very underinvested state. The state of infrastructure, especially with respect to road connectivity or power connectivity, is very poor, and so development of Jharkhand has taken a massive hit. But even more than that, there is a lack of trust in between the people and the state, because whenever a development project comes, we have heard about a lot of projects in the past, such as we had a mega food park coming in Ranchi. Power plant was being established by Adani Power in Godda. But all these projects are announced, but they rarely come to fruition. The biggest reason is that there is a lot of protest from the local people who feel that their interests will be hampered, and they are not empowered enough to feel that if their interests are hampered, they can approach the institutions of democracy to get their grievances solved. So this mistrust leads to a situation where even when we have development projects, they are not completed.
Any other problems before the state?
Sir, it is a largely agricultural state. Around 75% of the state is dependent on agriculture, but the agricultural situation is extremely poor. Around 90% of the land is unirrigated, and we basically have rice monocropping. So if the monsoon fails, the whole state goes into distress.
Tell me any two schemes of the state government that it has brought for tribal welfare.
Sir, there was a scheme, Birsa Vishisht Janjati Yojana, that was for the promotion of tribal arts and crafts. The scheme also had a Birsa Awas Yojana, which gave funds over and above the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for construction of houses.
What is the difference between computerization and digitization?
Computerization is the introduction of computers in any sector or any field, while digitization is a more broad concept. It is not just about computers, but other digital technologies such as mobile phones, it is about sensors, it is about Internet of Things, and it is also about changing the processes. Computerization is just using of computers to do certain tasks, but digitization means that a lot of processes have to be re-engineered so that the digital technologies fit into those solutions.
Shivam, how do you plan to use your computer science knowledge in civil service?
So there are two ways that my knowledge can be used. First of all, the core concepts of computer science can be directly applied to administrative situation. For example, in government, one of the biggest problem is that all our circulars that the government notifies is mostly in English or in Hindi or just one local languages. We can use artificial intelligence to ensure that all the communication from the government can be done in all the local languages. Other than that, we can also use, like the government collects a lot of data, and historically we have done many surveys, but the data is in such a format that it cannot be used. It is crores of rupees have been spent and the data is
Shivam,
sitting.
tell me something. When the government asks for data, people are not willing to give it. But you are already giving data to Facebook and WhatsApp and whatnot. What is the reason why people don't want to give data to the government but they are willing to give it to private corporations?
So private corporations have put in place certain incentive mechanisms, they offer cashbacks and they offer free services, which makes the people believe that their data, they are getting at least some value in exchange for their data. Also, because their policies of the private sector has been so complex that people do not appreciate the risk that they face from those corporations. But in the case of government, I think some majority of the people are okay with giving their data because we have successful Aadhaar linked schemes which have been running, and around 99% of the population have Aadhaar cards now.
No, still, but there is a reluctance. Tell me 2 or 3 reasons why you would be scared of giving data to the government. What is the fear that people may have?
Sir, the biggest fear is that government has access to a lot of databases, and it may use certain technologies in the future to combine all those databases and make a profile of me that can be used for any end. That is the biggest fear.
All right. Why civil services, Shubham?
It was a long process of orientation. My father always wanted me to be a civil servant, so I think that was always in the back of my mind. But after I was done with my schooling and while I was in college, I felt that I need a sense of satisfaction. Especially while I was in Adobe, I was doing good work, and there was a moment when my team was applauding some work that I did, but I did not feel complete. I felt that my heart lies somewhere else, and civil services feels like it can give me the opportunity to pursue excellence and to do good work.
All right, Shubham, your interview is over.
Thank you, sir.
Relax.